Hey everyone, this is the Noble Artist here bringing you another tutorial. This should be on Tutorial Tuesday, but it's not. It is actually Friday, so I'm going to go ahead and do this tutorial because I'm trying to get some more videos out and I haven't posted anything, barely. I posted the contest results yesterday and I only have one video out this whole month, which is kind of sad, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the movable rangefinder. Also, don't forget that I am still working on the You Pick I Paint figure, which is taking me a little bit longer just because in my last video I mentioned that I'm using clay techniques, which is new to me, so it's going to take some time just to figure out how to do that. But I have so many cool ideas that I want to get done, and I just have to learn new techniques and new things. It just takes, unfortunately, longer to learn something new, and once I figure it out, then it will be a little bit easier. And the more I work with clay, obviously, the better it's going to get. But for this video, you're going to need several tools. You will need a pair of scissors. It doesn't matter what you have, as long as they can cut. You will also need tweezer bees, which is the most important tool that I have. They are reverse tweezers. All these tools, just so people don't have to keep asking, because I know you're curious and there's new people to my channel every day. So I get most of my tools, / all of them, at Michael's Craft Store. And I guess these tools you can get anywhere. You can get these at Lowe's. A lot of the tools I have, they're name brand, and then I've had them for years. But you'll need scissors, tweezer bees. You'll need some kind of not a wire cutter, but something that can cut some metal, thin metal. That's not wire. I guess it is wire, thin metal wire. And then you'll need a duckbill pliers. You also need glue. So basically you just need these 4 tools right here, and then glue. And then you also need a figure, and then a couple pieces, which I'll show you. I've already done most of the cutting, so I get, well, I'll need these 2 later, so I'll leave those over there. You also need an X-Acto knife. You might get away with use scissors, but more that I look at it, you probably won't. So I'm actually going to do a technique that I've never done before, so I'm YOLOing this. Like the ones I made in the past, these movable rangefinders right here, I used the piece from the rangefinder that Lego had, one they had, and I just cut off the end and I attached the top part and then the thin wire there. Basically I made what they did, or I made the rangefinder that Lego made, but I just made it a lot more compact and a lot sleeker, and just looks more proportionate than the giant one that they made. So I am not going to use Lego because I couldn't find a Lego piece. I couldn't find an old Lego rangefinder to take that little the little plastic nub off. So I'm actually going to see if I can do it out of a toothpick. So what I did, I've already did a little bit of prepping. I took a toothpick, so take any toothpick. Obviously this one is trimmed down a lot, and then I cut the end off. But I stuck it into the side of the helmet. Now, for this Phase 2 helmet that does not have a hole in the side of it, I use my X-Acto knife to carve a hole for, spoiler alert, the micro binoculars for this helmet. So there's a way to put a rangefinder on a helmet that doesn't have one, but that I can get into another video. But what I did was I poked, or pushed, whatever I'm trying to say here. You get it. I put this through the hole into the helmet, and then of course, because it is a toothpick, the smaller half poked through, and I just took my X-Acto knife and kind of just marked it a little bit, pulled it out, and then cut the tip off. And then what we're going to do here is, so now that it's pushed all the way in as far as it can go, I can still put the helmet on and all that goodness. So I am going to trim off a little bit more of this toothpick. So I'm just going to mark it right there, and that should be good. So now I'm going to hopefully cut this without it shooting off into oblivion. So what you do is put a little bit of pressure and then just slowly start to rotate it, so you're cutting on all sides. And you don't actually have to fully cut it. You can just kind of score it all around and then pop it off with your fingers. See it right there. So you don't have to go crazy on this piece. You don't want to rough it up. Now I'm just going to use some sandpaper just to sand off a little bit, because when you cut into wood, it tends to have a little bit of uneven, not uneven, but it has some little shards still left over. So now we have our piece. Push it. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying push and poke. I'm trying to merge the two words together. I'm trying to make my own words here. Now, hopefully this would work. I don't want it to be too intense. So now that's coming off of the helmet, like so. Now this is where it gets kind of experimental because I've never done this before. Normally, ideally, what you're going to do is glue this piece. This is just a piece of wire. This is actually, it came off an old button, like one of these buttons right here. I just kind of took the back of it off and then cut the tip off because it was pointy. You can even use, if you be careful, you can use a needle and just cut the ends off. Or if you have thin metal wire, a lot of wiring from technology will have metal in it. I'm not sure if these do, but you can find stuff like that. You can use paper clips. You can use, they're a little bit thicker, but paper clips here, they would work just fine. They're not sharp, so you can use those. But anyway, I have my piece cut to a desired length. Now I am going to get a little bit of glue. This is just super glue, most generic thing you can find. I actually got this at Walmart in a pack of 4, so that was kind of cool. It was like $1.50 for 4, which is great because it lasts a long time. I'm fighting back a sneeze. It's painful. Okay. So, if you want to put a little bit of glue on one side, just get a bead. You want enough for it to stick because you're trying to stick it into onto wood. So, I'm actually going to take it off these tweezer beads because my little piece is magnetic. And I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. So once you just kind of stick it on somewhere, blow on it. And it's already starting to set. Now, it's not going to be like solid or anything right now, but it's enough that I can let go of it and kind of push it to where I want it. Make sure it's lined up the way you want it. Now, I'm going to be at a different angle for you guys because I need to see it and I can't really look straight on, but that's good. We're looking good. Because looking straight on it, you don't want it to be too far out. You gotta poke. I don't know why I keep saying posh. Where does the word posh come from? Wow. You want to make sure that it's not too far out. So you're going to put it back in. And then when you turn it sideways, make sure that it is lined up. So there's 2 angles that you need. 2 angles. Okay, so now the glue might have messed up because sometimes you get a connection and it dries, but it's not really strong and it's really weak and terrible. So it's kind of hard to tell what kind we have. I'm going to put some more on there, making sure you don't glue the wood to the helmet, which is a big no-no because you might have to start all over. So now that this piece is on here drying, I'll talk about the other 2 pieces of metal. Okay, I thought I lost it. What you're going to do for the top part of the rangefinder, which is this part right up, oh, the helmet came off, this top part right there, what you want is about a squarish rectangular piece, very small piece, and then this might actually be, this might be too wide, so let's cut off a little bit on the side, like so. Now, you want to cut at an angle, but you want to start about maybe a third of the way up. So about a third of the way up, we're going to cut at a slight angle, like so. Turn it around. Maybe not a third of the way up. That's definitely not a third. That's like a 20th of it of the way up. So basically, you're going to cut two angles inward. Like, yes, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Now take your duckbill pliers and grab. This is where you grab about a 1/3 of it, You don't want to grab a whole lot, like so, and then you're going to bend it straight down, and then take a look. See, you kind of want it to not do that. You want it to kind of have an edge to it. Grab a little bit more. Not an edge, but you want to be able to see it start, like it's wider here, and you want to see it kind of taper and get more narrow as it gets to the end of it. And then we'll flip it over, crimp that side down. The back side is not as important because you're not going to see it. So this is the piece you need. This is going to be this piece. Now, depending on how thick you make it, you can see how well, how thin this piece is. I'm going to use the one that I pre-cut one. So that was just an example to show you how to cut it and what you want to do. I mean, you can cut different shapes. It doesn't have to be exactly as I do. You'll also need a third piece of metal. You might be able to use fabric. That might work too. Fabric actually glues really well to a lot of things. So this actually is going to go around that piece, and I'm going to narrow this down a little bit because I just picked up this piece of scrap metal and it's not ideal. So just be really careful. Cut that. So now I got that little scrap there, and then I'm going to use this piece right here. Now, if you don't know what metal to use or what to get, I do have metal on my eBay, which will be a link down in the description. It's going to say link to eBay. I might just say eBay. Also on my channel, on the left hand or the right hand side of my channel art, there should be an eBay button. And I do have sheets of metal that I sell, and it comes with the armor pack, which doesn't have this in it, but the armor pack is still pretty cool. The sheets of metal that comes with the template for the armor pack, you can still use that metal for a lot of other things. So anyway, we're going to check this, see if it's dry, and if it's dry to the touch, which it appears it does, which is good. We got a good connection there. This is basically a stabilizer piece, and we're going to glue it to this side. Glue it to this side, and then wrap it around to the back side. And what I want to do, I'm going to do something really quick. I'm going to bend the metal over a piece of toothpick. Now, this metal isn't very wide, so there's not going to be a massive bend to it. But did I do that wrong? No, I did it right. Okay. But it helps if it's in the shape of the piece you're trying to glue it to, just so it hits the full surface of it. Also, like when I'm putting stuff on the arms, I kind of pre-bend it a little bit, so it naturally just kind of curves around. I don't have to like glue it on a weird angle. So I think this is what I want. I'm going to measure it. Put that right there. Okay. So now we're going to put a little bit of glue. And then, oh. This metal is very malleable, so I gotta be careful. I'm not sure if you can see this. Reposition that. And I'm just gonna set that there. This might not stick. Don't know if I have enough, but let's see. Ooh! And I huffed and I puffed and I knocked it down. Okay, that didn't work. Round 2. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time, which is okay. I didn't mess up, which is good. I hope it's not weird that I'm not looking at my through my camera when I'm doing this, because I don't know if you can actually see it. So I'm gonna probably go through this video just to make sure that you can actually see what the heck I'm doing. It's like the whole video, like my big old fat hand's in the way. That would have been miserable. It's a great tutorial. Thanks for showing us the back of your hand the whole time. Talking like a loony. Mixing up push and pull. Or push and whatever the other word was. I don't even know what it was. But all I know is that I butchered that word. That poor word. So now I'm just going to press this on here. Oh my goodness. My life. I can't win, guys. I can't win. See, this is what I was saying, how sometimes the glue, it just doesn't want to, it's weird. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like, it doesn't glue. The glue that doesn't glue, it will come out, it will stick to wherever it's at, and it just gets really kind of like, not mushy, but it just doesn't glue, like adhere to anything. I'm actually gonna, okay, just checking to make sure I didn't glue that piece in. So, I'm sorry you have to suffer through this with me, but because I'm trying a new technique, there's new risks involved. So I'm going to try this again. Now, one problem that I could be having is that this piece of metal is too long. And because it's too long, it's adding a lot of extra weight, which is pushing down, which is pulling that up. And so there's certain things like that that I could check to make sure aren't a factor. But let's just push that on a little more. This would also work if I tried to make this out of another material, not another material, but I could also, hold on, that should be good. I might be able to make this out of clay, and then, actually that might have been easier to make it, if I made it out of clay, then I could just push this down, this metal rod down into the clay. And then I still connected to this centerpiece somehow. But then this, the problem is I have to put this bar around this, the knob, in order to keep this in place. So that's the only reason I need this piece there. It's like a support beam. It should be, I'm going to trim off. I'm going to trim off a little bit. Boop. Okay, let's try this. Now, if this doesn't work, then I have failed. I fail you for the last time. Okay, looking good, looking good. So, now that that is drying, I know it's at a weird angle. Whoa, that's a bright helmet. Ooh, it's bright. So now that that is drying, that I've wrapped that piece of metal around, hopefully that will keep this bar in place, which is the main goal. Put a little bit more glue at the bottom. You can never have too much glue, because it's not really adding anything to it as far as like mass wise. Like, I'm not making this super huge, and it's not making it really thick by adding more glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end of this toothpick and then apply it on that part. Get some more glue on the top. And then while that, well, I'm going to try to straighten it out first. Do another check, make sure that it's not glued to the helmet, which it is not. And then I'm going to line it up and put that top piece on, and we should be good. I think that glue is still wet, which I'm hoping it doesn't want to glue it to the helmet itself, but it's okay. So now we're going to take our tweezer bees and then grab that top piece. This one here I pre-made. It's a little bit shorter than the one I just showed you in the demonstration. But as you can see, it is, I'm like, as you can see, if you have 20/20 vision right there, that it is a lot smaller. Not a lot smaller, but yeah, it's a lot smaller. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on the inside of this. Now don't put a whole lot, because the more glue you put, the longer it's going to take to dry. And this is a heavy piece compared to what you're trying to put it on. So let's just set that, well, kind of hold it there for a second. Sometimes you want the glue to start to dry, so it gets kind of slow and sluggish, and then you can kind of maneuver it the way you want it. Like this, that ain't working. Don't fall. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Now I'm going to look at another problem. I don't know if it's a problem, but because I cut that piece, it's really like narrow at the top. So there's not a whole lot of surface for my piece to actually glue too, which is kind of a bad thing. Not kind of a bad thing, it is a bad thing. Let's see, hopefully. Sometimes the glue dries really fast, sometimes it doesn't dry at all. The moment of truth. Okay. Now, I need to make sure that it's lined up correctly. So you look at the top, make sure that it's not at a weird angle, which that is looking like a good angle. From the side, you want to make sure that the side angle is desirable. That might be off a little bit. The piece of metal is actually bent because when I cut the end off, I didn't correct that. So that's going to be a little up in the air. That's okay. The metal is not going to be perfect. But once that is more or less, it's just barely there. Like if I touch it, it would probably fall because there's not a lot of glue. I'm going to put that dry a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit more glue in there. Okay. So that should hold there for permanence, for goodsies. Once that dries, it should be good to go. Now, ideally, if I put pressure on this rod, then the whole thing will move down. So hopefully, the glue underneath dry, because I can grab it from the base and turn it, and it moves just fine, which is good. I just don't know if it does that on its own. So here goes nothing. And it just did what I didn't want it to do. Because that came undone. So what do we do now? Well, we can either cry about it, which I really want to do right now. I've had a long day and this is not what I wanted it to happen. Basically, my glue didn't want to glue. So I'm going to put some more glue up in here. Oh, that's a lot of glue. That's a lot of glue. It's too much glue. And then I'm gonna, oh no. Okay, so basically it came off, and I put way too much glue on this, so. Well, okay, so let's not give up. Don't give up. What we're gonna do is put it back in. This might have been the problem trying to use a toothpick. Never send a toothpick to do a Lego job. Should have used actual plastic Lego. Or I'm going to try something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try something kind of gutsy. Let's just cut straight down the middle of this toothpick. Little piece. Spread it out a little bit. Break it up a little. Now, okay, that came off too. So let's just take a moment and reflect here that, you know, it's not the end of the world. Even though that I just spent 24 minutes and 7 seconds on this video and it all kind of came crashing down at the end. That's okay. It's okay. I will survive. What I'm going to do, now that I opened up the toothpick a smidgen, and I'm going to glue the toothpick into said sliver. I don't know if you saw any of that, but basically what happened was, let me break it down for you. The toothpick didn't want to cooperate. It was all like, heck no, man, I don't want to cooperate. You suck. You're ugly. And that's basically what it said to me. And I was like, heck no. So I just broke it. Okay, well that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just count the 10. So let's just restart everything. And we'll set it all back up. Pretend this never happened. And so yeah, let's just bring it step away. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, this is Noble Arts here, and today I'm going to show you how to work, or how to make the working movable rangefinder. And then you just gotta go right back into it. So let's just pretend nothing ever happened. And I'm still going to try to do this from scratch. Okay, so because that idea did not work, we're going to use clay, because clay probably won't be as terrible as trying to do the plastic version of what I just tried to do. Now, this last video was 26 minutes, so it's probably gonna be a 40-minute long video. I just dropped the helmet. Okay. Oh, I'm tired. So basically, everything failed. People, I'm a failure. I'm a big old loser. It didn't work. I dropped everything. So pretty much what happened was we got ourselves here a classic fail video. I tried to do the how-to, maybe because it wasn't a Tuesday. It's a tutorial Tuesday concept that I tried to attempt on a Friday. So that might just be working against me from the beginning, that I just wasn't meant to make a video or a tutorial on a Friday. So I'm going to chalk that up as that's what's happening here, that it's against some divine plan for me to make this video today. So with that being said, I don't really have anything else to show you because my other figure isn't finished and everything else, so you'll probably never see this video. If you do, it's going to be a long epic fail, and yeah, so I'll probably do a tutorial on something simpler, something a little bit easier to manage, and I will get back to this. I tried a new technique and I gambled and it did not work. But if I didn't try, I never would have known. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. So I thought this would work, and I probably should have done a little more, not research, but tampering, figuring out what would be best for this video. So that being said, always measure twice and cut once. I did not do that today, and it definitely showed, and I apologize for wasting 28 minutes and 13 seconds of your life. If you watch this to the end of it, congratulations. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe not how to make this rangefinder, but maybe you learned how to not give up, and don't give up. Just do it! No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, if stuff does mess up, this did not go the way I planned, but it's okay because I know what I can do, and I have other plans, I have other ideas. I just said I'm going to try to do it out of clay. And if I did have the actual plastic piece that I did all the other ones with, I would have no problem. So it is doable. I tried a new technique and it didn't pan out this time, but no biggie. So if you do end up coming across a hurdle or something that just happens and you didn't plan for it, don't give up, don't be discouraged, because it happens, and it's, you know, it matters if you continue to keep trying, because, you know, there's so many analogies you can throw out there with stuff. You know, everyone's like, well, Einstein tried X amount of times and failed. Well, he found X amount of things that don't work, so technically he didn't fail. I just spent all this time realizing that you can't use a toothpick to make a movable rangefinder for a custom Lego Star Wars clone helmet. I know it's a very niche category, but I now know that this doesn't work. So learn from my mistakes, don't do that. If you guys like this video, you know what to do. Hitchhike it. Don't forget to fist pound the subscribe button. Bam! I think it's reversed, so it is in this corner. I normally go this way, but I'm facing the camera, so it's this way. You know what I'm saying. Also, the first person to leave a comment on this video gets a shout out, which I will put right up in here. I'll put a bunch of stuff down below, links to all my cool stuff, eBay and my gaming channel, which I'm trying to still upload stuff for that. I'm new. It's taking me some time, but I'm getting stuff done. And that's about it. Y'all have a great day. God bless. I will see you later. Hopefully on next Tuesday I will get this. This will happen. This is going to work. We will get this happening. It's going to be awesome. You'll learn how to do it. Until then, I'll put a link to my other tutorials up here so you can go check them out. I do have one for the standard rangefinder, which is awesome. And I think today, which is I believe the 8th, I will do a tutorial on the Roman shield, perhaps just so I can get a video out today. And then next Tuesday I'll hopefully come out with this. If not, you will see it. You'll see it when you see it. So y'all take care. God bless, and I will see you next time. If you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. You are awesome.